Hello, good day to all of you. So we are in holding company, and last few classes we were looking into different patterns in holding company. So we started with the meaning of holding company. So what it means according to the Companies Act, and we also seen what is the need for presenting the consolidated balance sheet for the holding company, and what are the things need to be filed along with the consolidated balance sheet by the holding company, and how to prepare the consolidated balance sheet, what are the major requirements, and what is goodwill, what is capital reserve, how to assess the cost of control, how to treat that in the consolidated balance sheet of holding company. So all these things we have gone through. Right? So a quick recap we have now. So please, if you have any doubt, go back to the previous video and watch. So most of the MCQ questions used to be from the concept, from the theoretical part, conceptual understanding, and science will help you to understand better the concept, understand the concept in a better way, and so that it helps you a lot to summarize, and any type of MCQ test will help you with conceptual part, will help you to click the answer easily. So do not segregate about theory or problems. Theory will explain you what are the important concepts, whereas the problem will make you to apply those concepts. But nowadays students, they used to focus only on sums, only on problems, only practicing sums and tallying, etc., calculations. But now the theoretical part also included, need to be focused, and it has to be merged with the solving of sums. Then only you can so well to attempt the MCQ questions. Right? So now let me take you to what is minority interest, which is most important part in holding company chapter. So without minority interest there won't be questions. So like goodwill, capital reserve, minority interest is another important major part. Right? So it is we can call this as a complementary part of the previous class, which means goodwill and capital reserve. Minority interest, the complementary part, which means without this the other one will not exist. The other one will not exist. Right? So the minority interest, what it means? Minority interest. The term itself says minority. It means the subsidiary. So majority is the holding company because they acquire more than 50% of the shares. So remaining we call as minority, which means the holdings of subsidiary company, the shareholdings of subsidiary company. So that proportion is going to be definitely less than 50%. That we call as minority. What is that interest? Is that unknown? No, interest in the sense involvement of the subsidiary company, involvement of the minority shareholders in the subsidiary company. That how much the holding company is going to hold. So that is we call as minority interest. The claim of outside shareholders in the subsidiary companies is used to be assessed, and that outside shareholders claim is called as minority interest, and that minority interest have to be shown as liability in the consolidated balance sheet. Minority interest in the net asset of the company. Minority interest, it happens to be in net asset of the company. It is nothing but the proportionate share of aggregation of share capital, reserves, surpluses, other funds. It goes on. It is a calculation of proportionate share of all the assets should be deducted from the minority interest. Thus, minority interest is the share of outsiders in the following components. Number 1, the share in share capital in the subsidiary company. And then number 2, the shares in the reserves before acquisition and after acquisition. What is that? Before acquisition and after acquisition. And then share of accumulated losses which used to be deducted. If it is accumulated profit, it has to be treated like a reserve. But if it is an accumulated loss, it has to be subtracted. The most important point is the fourth point. A proportionate share of profit or loss due to the revaluation of assets. That proportion of the minority proportion have to be calculated and that have to be shown. These are the 4 points or the 4 pillars of calculating minority interest. The fifth one is another important area, but it may not come in all kind of problems. Preference share capital of the subsidiary company held by the outsiders and dividend due on such share capital, then it has to be included, because nowadays preference share capital is not going to be exist in future. It is not going to exist in future. So this is a rare case it will be applicable. But first of all, we can call this as a 4 pillars of minority interest. So simple. Point number 1, share of share capital, shares in the reserve, minority shares. Please make a note. Whenever I say shares, it is minority share. Then minority shares in the accumulated losses which should be subtracted, and proportionate minority share of profit or loss. Either one happens due to the revaluation of assets. So when the valuation happens again and again, the assets may appreciate. Sometimes it used to decrease. It used to decline the value of book value. So due to that, the profit or loss will occur during the acquisition. That have to be adjusted. If it is a profit and if it is a loss, then if there is a preference share capital, then take the portion of minority portion of preference share capital, and if there is a dividend due, that also take minority portion, and you will get the net result of these 5 steps. You will get as the minority interest. Minority interest means an outsider's interest. In a simple way, you can say minority interest means is an outsider's interest in the subsidiary company, which is held by the holding company. It is treated as a liability and it has to be shown in consolidated balance sheet. If you see any balance sheet of a company, if there is a minority interest in the liability side, which means it is a holding company, the other one or two may also, those are called the subsidiary companies. So it used to be shown in the liability side of the balance sheet of consolidated financial statement of holding company. It is a current liability of the holding company. Minority interest is a current liability. Please make an underline. It used to be there in MCQ%. This amount is basically the intrinsic value of shares held by minority. This amount is basically intrinsic value, which means net asset value of shares held by minority in the subsidiary company. So that's how the minority interest is calculated. This is given importance in the subsidiary company. So minority interest, the word itself explains well. This is most important part in calculation. So two important calculations used to be done in holding company. One is goodwill or capital reserve. The other one is minority interest. Goodwill or capital reserve is a result of the excess or deficit payment during the acquisition of the company by the holding company. Whereas the minority interest is the result of the minority shares of the outsiders in the holding company. So this is how these two gains more importance in any kind of sense. So without these two calculations, a holding company consolidated balance sheet will not possible. So all of it is make a note. These two is the basement for preparing a consolidated balance sheet of a holding company. So with this, let me talk about the concept of minority interest, and let me take you towards an exercise in which we will be applying both the calculation of goodwill or capital reserve and minority interest, along with many other calculations. So I request you all to view this balance sheet and make a note of it in your notebook. The following balance sheet of US Limited is provided as on a date. So there are list of assets and liabilities provided in a horizontal statement. Now let me take you to one by one. Fixed assets, 290,000. Investments, it is 274,000. Current assets, it is 130,000. Preliminary expenses, please make an underline. This is most important. This is most important. Preliminary expenses, 30,000. So altogether, it comes around 715,000 total assets. Whereas if you take the liability side, the share capital, it is 270,000. It has only one share, which means equity share. So equity shares of rupees 10 each. So total amount is 270,000. Then how many shares we have? That is important. In valuation of shares also I said, you need to take the number of shares from the balance sheet itself. So now out of 270,000, how many shares? Each share is 10 rupees. So you can very well say 270,000 divided by rupees 10. So it comes around 27,000 shares. Then general reserve. We can also call this as an accumulated profit. Profit and loss account. So it comes around 360,000. And then current liabilities is 85,000. So altogether it comes around 715,000. So please make a note the summary of the balance sheet. Right? Why I am reading the question is that you need to pick up the 4 pillars for calculating minority interest. You need to pick up for a few important areas to calculate the goodwill and capital reserve. Number of shares, what the subsidiary company is having. Please make a note. This is the balance sheet of a subsidiary company. This is a balance sheet of a subsidiary company. Right? So now, holding company comes to a picture. Holding company acquired 25,000 shares in subsidiary company on 31st March at a cost of rupees 2,75,000. At a cost of rupees 2,75,000, and fixed costs are valued at rupees 3,25,000. The fixed costs were valued at rupees 3,28,000, whereas the fixed assets in the balance sheet is given as 2,90,000. But while the acquisition happened by the holding company, that is H Limited, the fixed assets are revalued and it comes around 3,28,000, which means the valuation, the fixed assets gets appreciated. Now here the question is, find out the minority interest, and I request you also find out the value of goodwill or capital reserve based on the same sum. However, I will be explaining you how to calculate the minority interest for the same sum. But you are the student who learns through many form of exploration. You are so intelligent, and I request you to calculate the other set whatever we have seen in the earlier classes, like goodwill or capital reserve. What is the cost of holding it? So all these things you take the same sum and calculate simultaneously after this class. I hope it makes you sense. Now with this additional information, whatever is given is that the 25,000 shares have been acquired. How many shares are there in the subsidiary company? Please make a note. Did you take that? Yes, 27,000 shares. But holding company has acquired 25,000 shares of subsidiary company, which means more than 90%, around more than 90%. And just approximately I am saying. If you acquire more than 50% itself, you become holding company. They acquired more than 90% of the shares. But they paid, which means they invested 2,75,000 in the subsidiary company. So please make a note. So here we can decide that H Limited becomes as a holding company. But in the initial period, it's not possible. In the question, they did not give which is holding company, which is subsidiary company. Just by namesake, we can't say H means holding, S means subsidiary. We need to calculate the number of shares held by the holding company. So here, H Limited is acquiring 25,000 shares out of 27,000 shares from the subsidiary company, which is more than 50%. Now only we are right royal to decide the H Limited as holding company and S Limited as subsidiary company. Before that, there is no statement. So by using this only, we are able to say that H Limited is a holding company because it holds more than 50% of shares from S Limited. So here only the H Limited can be defined as holding company and S Limited is called as subsidiary company. With this short brief explanation, let me take you to the calculation of minority interest. So like in the previous lecture, I explained you how to calculate minority interest, and later I revealed the answer so that simultaneously you can also solve the sum from my lecture, and then you can verify your answer can verify the answer from the slide, which I will be revealing. So what is that is given now? Minority interest. What is the portion of subsidiary company? What is the portion of outside shareholders in the subsidiary company? That is minority interest. Now calculate the proportion. What is the portion of outsiders? When you say how many shares outsiders are holding in the subsidiary company? Yes, can you pick up? Because totally how many shares we have? 25,000 shares. No? No, yes. 27,000 shares. Very good. So Murali is keen. So 27,000 shares the holding company, the subsidiary company is having. Of that, 25,000 shares acquired by the H Limited holding company. So how many shares outsiders are having? Yes, the outsiders are having 2,000 shares, the balance, which means the balance are held by the outsider. So here the outsiders are having 2,000 shares out of 27,000 shares. So now what is the portion of outsider? 2,000 out of 27,000. Calculate this as a ratio. 2,000 divided by 27,000. So what is the ratio? So if you are not able to simplify, leave it as it is. If you are able to simplify, try to simplify. Don't divide as it is. Just calculate the ratio. Proportion. Like last class we have seen 3/4 of the subsidiary company, the holding company has. Holding, they have the holding of 3/4. Likewise, you calculate the proportion here, ratio. Right? So now 2,000 out of 27,000. If you convert that as a ratio, you will get 2 by 27. It means you have 2,000 shares out of 27. You will eliminate all the zeros. You will get 3 zeros, 3 zeros. If you eliminate, you will get 2 out of 27. If you are able to simplify this again, you can simplify. Now it is not possible to simplify. 2 by 27. So simple. So take this as a portion of outsiders' interest in the company. That's why it is called minority interest. There is so minimum. 2 by 27 is so minimum, right? 3 by 4 is one maximum. So here 2 by 27 is so minimum. That's why it is called a minority. Right? So the portion of outsiders is 2 by 7. Now take all the points from the balance sheet and convert that amount for 2 by 27. The share in share capital. What is the share in share capital? The total share capital is given in the balance sheet is 2,70,000. Of this, the outsiders are holding only 2 by 27, which means 2,000 shares out of 27,000 shares. Each share amount is ₹10. It is given in the balance. Wherever it is given. So 2,000 shares into 10 rupees, you will get 20,000. Or in other way, you can also calculate 2,70,000 of this 2 by 27. So 2,70,000 of this 2 by 27, if you calculate, you will get 20,000. So either way you can say. The simple logic is 2,000 shares they have, each shares carry is 10, so it is 2,10,000. It is 20,000. If you calculate the same proportion of minority interest, 2,70,000 of this 2 by 27, you will get 20,000. So same amount. So same amount, is it not? Yes. So if some students who is good in mathematics, they will take the proportion and calculate. Some student who is good in logic, then they will take the logic and follow that and calculate the 20,000. So common sense is enough, right, to understand these basics. Second, shares in reserves and surplus. Shares in reserves and surplus. What is that? So we have reserves and surplus, which means accumulated profit is around 3,60,000 is there. So we have 3,60,000. Of this, what is that? 2 by 27. That means portion of minority interest portion, 2 by 27. So if we calculate that, out of 3,60,000, 2 by 27, you will get around, yes, 20,000. Exactly, 20,000. 20,000 you will get. So post that in the outer column. The share of minority in reserves and surplus in subsidiary company is 20,000. Next, is there any capital profit? Which means before acquisition, is there any appreciation of assets, or is there capital loss, depreciation of assets, decline of assets also sometimes it may happen. If there is a decline, subtract. If there is an appreciation, it is a profit. It is called as capital profit. We need to bring it. So here, what is the share in capital profit? What is the share? So profit on appreciation of fixed assets. So here, total reserves is 3,60,000. Of this, 20,000 we already subtracted because that is a part of share capital, and we need to add 38,000. What is that 38,000? Because the appreciated value of fixed assets. So already we have 3,60,000 as general reserve. Of this, 20,000 is share of reserves and surplus of subsidiary company. That means outsiders a portion that have to be subtracted. Then 38,000, which is appreciated. That means earlier in the balance sheet we have fixed assets 2,90,000, and it has been revised to or revalued to rupees 3,28,000, which means the difference between 3,28,000 and 2,90,000, it comes around 38,000. That means 38,000 is appreciated. Now 3,60,000 minus 20,000 plus 38,000, you will get 3,78,000. This is the share in capital profit. So of this, what is the 2 by 27 portion? That means what is the portion of outsiders shares? So here 2 by 27 of 3,78,000. If you calculate this, you will get 28,000. So this is the share in capital profit. So this is the share in capital profit. So if you calculate minority interest, if you add all these three, please make a note. If there is a capital loss, we need to subtract that. Please make a note. In this sum, there is no capital loss. But if there is a capital loss, say for example, fixed assets is valued at 2,20,000, but the book value says 2,90,000. It is valued at 2,20,000. Then there is a capital loss. The loss again has to be subtracted, and then you need to calculate the share in capital loss. Right? If there is a share in capital loss, then subtract. Since here we have capital profit, we have added this. I hope it helps you to understand the sum, and if you add all these things, you will get minority interest. If there is a capital loss, subtract. In this sum, there is no capital loss, so add all these things, you will get minority interest. Now, what is the minority interest? Can you say? All of you, please post that answer in the comment after watching this lecture in the YouTube. So under there is a comment, you post your comment. Your answer, please post in the comment. I will be seeing before the webinar series, webinar class, I will see all the responses. how many of you responded and made the calculation along with me. Yes, I could see many comments answer now, which people have responded one by one. I could see 7 people have done the sums along with me. Very good. So I will reveal you the answer now. So please be ready to copy the answer. I hope you have done, but it is in working way. It is in rough way you have done, because I know how far I am able to deliver the lecture, and you need to understand that and do some workings. So I have done in a rough manner, and now let me reveal the answer. Copy the answer in your notebook simultaneously, and I will also have an explanation to that segment. Now, have a title first. Statement showing the calculation of minority interest. That's the title. In H Limited. Then have particulars and rupees, 2 columns. Take one by one. First one. Outsiders share in share capital. So what is the outsiders share? That's why I requested you to calculate, because every time you no need to calculate the proportion. First itself calculate the proportion. What is the share of outsiders in this subsidiary company? So here totally we have 27,000 shares. Of these 25,000 shares were held by the H Limited, and 2,000 shares is held by the other people, which means outsiders. It is held by the outsiders in the subsidiary company. So that means they have minority interest. That means 2,000 shareholders from the outsiders, they have interest in this company. That's why it is called minority interest. So here minority interest proportion is calculated. 2,000 shareholders, outside shareholders, out of 27,000 shares in the subsidiary company. So if we calculate this portion, 2,000 divided by 27,000, then it is called the proportion of 2 by 27. This is the portion of minority interest. This have to be decided first. Then go on by one. Share in share capital. Is the share in share capital. So here we need to calculate this. As I told you, take the minority interest portion 2 by 27. From this, calculate the portion of share capital. So total share capital value is given as 2,70,000. So of this, what is the outsiders interest? 2 by 27, you will get 20,000 rupees. And put up that 20,000 in the outer corner. Point number 2, what is the share in reserves and surplus? Total reserves and surplus, that means accumulated profit in the subsidiary company, is 3,60,000. All this 2 by 27, that means the portion of outsiders, the portion of outsiders. So that is, we need to calculate, that is the outsider share in reserves and surplus from the subsidiary company. The reserve and surplus may be even in crores, but what is the share from the outsiders, the minority people? And that only is applicable to them. The entire reserves cannot be right now really used by the subsidiary, by the outsiders, because they have only limited influence on the company, because they have only 2,000 shares. They have only 2,000 shares out of 27,000. That's why we calculate this portion. Share in reserves and surplus. 3,60,000 of this 2 by 27. So if we calculate this, 27 can be reduced by 9 3 times. 3,60,000 can be divided by 9 as 4. So 40,000 multiplied by 2 by 3. So now 40,000 into 2, 6, yes, 30,000. 30,000 into 2, you will get 60,000. Of this 60,000 divided by 3, you will get 20,000. So here you can calculate the share in reserves and surplus. Now let me take you to the third step. Right. So are you able to copy now? And also you can verify your workings whatever you have done during my lecture. So what is the share in capital profit? So profit on appreciation of fixed assets. So there is a profit 38,000. There is an increase in fixed assets that have to be adjusted. So already we have reserves 3,60,000. That appreciation has to be taken as capital profit and it has to be added along with the reserves. And 20,000 we already calculated the existing portion of outsider shares in reserves and surplus. That have to be subtracted. That means 3,60,000 minus 20,000 and then plus 38,000 and then plus 38,000. Then we will get 3,78,000. So this calculation is most important. 3,78,000. So if you do so, 3,78,000 divided by 27 multiplied by 2. It means the portion of outsiders 2 by 27. So now there is a question from my students. They always ask, sir, why do we need to take from general reserve or reserves and surplus or profit and loss account? Why did you take this 3,60,000? There is a question. Because any appreciation or depreciation, any increase or decrease of assets during the revaluation, it always affects the accumulated profit of the company. Is it not? Yes. It affects the accumulated profit of the company. In partnership firm or in any acquisition of business, amalgamation, absorption in the earlier classes, and particularly during the profit growth incorporation exercises, and more particularly if I get into the valuation of shares, please, if you have watched those, that's why purposely the holding company is kept as a fifth unit by our university in the SWAM platform. Fifth unit, because you need to know the valuation of shares, you need to know profit rate to incorporation, you need to know before that, you need to know what is the acquisition of shares, etc. One by one. Then only it will be easy for you to understand better. Otherwise also you can understand, but if you have that flow, you will never ever forget. So here, 3,60,000 is the accumulated profit which is given in the balance sheet, which is explicitly given in the balance sheet. Even if you have 2 or 3 parts, you need to take into consideration. So what are those? Yes, what are those? One is maybe general reserve. The other things can be profit and loss account. The other things can be retained earnings. So all these things need to be added together, because these are nothing but is an accumulated profit held by the subsidiary company during their course of business. So if this 2 by 27 portion is the interest from the outside, that's why we are taking out. So what we need to do, 3,60,000 minus 20,000 preliminary expenses. Why do we need to subtract the preliminary expenses? You know why? You know why we need to subtract the preliminary expenses? Can someone post in the chat? Comment? Not someone, all of you. Why the preliminary expenses need to be subtracted from the accumulated profit? Yes, very good, because it is their exterior assets which they have spent a few years back, and they could not write off every year. They have written off every year, but the portion which is out, which is held now, is yet to be written off, yet to be written off. So that have to be subtracted. So 3,60,000 minus 20,000 plus 38,000. So that is the share in capital. Why do we need to add 38,000? 20,000 subtracted, that is also asset. The 38,000 added, that is also asset. Why 20,000 subtracted? Why 30,000? Can you think about this for a while? When the answer? Why? Yes. In the true sense, the 20,000 have to be written off, have to be reduced. That's why it has been subtracted. Whereas the 38,000 is the appreciated value of fixed assets. So when you revalue the asset, the fixed assets present value in the marketplace more than the book value. So when a company acquires the shares, it's not only acquiring shares, it's holding the rights and the properties, whatever the subsidiary company they have. So this has been taken into account to calculate that minority interest. Since the fixed assets have been revalued at a high price, right, which means only 2,90,000 there in the balance sheet. Did you know that? But in the revaluing, the fixed assets market value is 3,28,000, which means it was appreciated. Whereas preliminary expenses is a writing of item, whereas the appreciation is an increase in assets. So that's why the appreciation 38,000 has been added. Please make a note why it is subtracted, why it is added. One asset is written off, so adjusted with the existing accumulated profit and loss, so it has been subtracted. Whereas the other person, the fixed assets were appreciated, and hence it has been added. For instance, if a fixed asset gets depreciated or the market value declines during revaluation, say for example, 2,90,000 is the fixed asset, now it has become 2,50,000 at the time of acquisition of the company. That means 40,000 reduced. So it is called as capital loss. So instead of adding 38,000, now you need to subtract 38,000. The difference. 2,90,000 is there, now it has become 2,50,000. So 40,000 have to be subtracted. So that's where we need to point our concept. That's where we need to point our concept. So what is the portion of the depreciated value that have to be subtracted? No? So it won't be considered by the outsiders, the shareholders from the outsiders. So the loss cannot be blamed on them because it happened just before the acquisition of the business by the hedge fund. So that means the third step is most important. You need to understand the better way. What is the portion of capital profit? So in this way, if you understand and then that is better. That is well and good. Now let me ask you to all the 3 points. One is the outsider share and share capital. The second one is the outsider's share of reserves and surpluses, and the outsider shares in the capital portfolio. So what is that outsider shares in the capital portfolio? So of that 3,60,000, if you get 3,60,000, in this what is the outsider shares? That is share in reserves and surplus. But in this 3,60,000, is there any accumulated losses or what is that? Writing of expenses, or loss in the revaluation of assets, or appreciation in the revaluation of assets. If there is there, then that have to be adjusted accordingly. If it is losses, then subtract. If it is a capital profit, then so otherwise you can make a proper move. Updating your calculation. So this helps a lot for you to attend the MCQ test, the quizzes. So because if you understand this language, which means which have to be added, why it is added, why it is not, that's why I am saying the reason behind that for each addition and subtraction. Then only you can, because it's not directly solving the sum for you in exam. This rank platform used to have MCQ, and in NPTEL or any kind of online courses, MCQ is given importance. Even if you go to any private institutes, right? So if you attend this lecture, the MCQ test in my case. So in this, you need to know what are the possible multiple choice questions can be expected from this part. I will tell you few questions from this exercise alone, but you are expected to answer in the comment. I will not tell you the answer. You are expected to answer in the comment. And I will check that and then reveal the correct answer. The person of minority in the overall balance sheet of the subsidiary company. Please understand the lines. The portion of minority in the balance sheet of subsidiary company would be as option 1, 50%, option 2, more than 50%, option 3, less than 50%, option 4, 0. I repeat again, the portion of minority in the balance sheet of subsidiary company would be as. They did not give any other details. They are just asking what would be the portion. Option 1, 50%, option 2, more than 50%, it could be 70, 75, 60, 85, anything. Then option 3, less than 50%, it could be 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 45, till 49, less than 50%. Then option 4 is 0. So what is the portion of minority? Post your answer in the comment. Yes, I think most of you are knowing well and you are able to post correct answer. But one have made wrong. You cannot see the others comment because it has been hidden. You can see only your answer. I will tell you that the right answer at last. I will tell you that right answer at last. Question number 2. Which of the following is intangible asset? In the holding company consolidated balance sheet, which of the following is an intangible asset in the consolidated balance sheet of a holding company? Options: preliminary expenses, research and development expenditures, capital reserve, goodwill. I gave you 4 options. I'll repeat the question again. Which of the following is an intangible asset of a holding company? In the consolidated balance sheet? Option 1, preliminary expenses. Option 2 is research and development expenditures. Option 3, what is that? Yes. Option 3, did I give? Yes. Good. Capital reserve. Option 4, goodwill. What is the right answer? Post that in the comment. Don't post only the option. Write the entire answer with the full word. Question number 3. When the land and building of a subsidiary company is increased during revaluation of the asset, at the time of acquisition, is known as dash. I'll repeat again. The increase of land and building during the revaluation of the assets at the time of acquisition of business by the holding is known as dash. Option 1, capital profit. Option 2, capital loss. Option 3, revenue profit. Option 4, retained earnings. What is the right answer? So you all are expected to tell the right answer in the comment. Then the 4th question. Till now I have posted 3 questions. The 4th question. So what is that? The 4th question. Third question or 3rd question? Yes, you are correct. So now calculate the minority interest from the following. Share capital 3 lakhs. Holding company buys 6,000 shares of rupees 10 each. Now, do we have the relationship of subsidiary and holding company? Question is, do we have the relationship of subsidiary and holding company? Option 1, yes. Option 2, no. Option 3, somewhat yes. To some extent, it is yes. Option 4, to some extent, it is no. What is the answer? Yes. You are able to follow my questions. Thank you. Thank you for your response. So now what we are going to do now? What is the answer for all these things? Question number 1. What is that question number 1? Do you remember? Yes? Good. The intangible assets of the consolidated balance sheet of holding company is goodwill, the answer. The revaluation of assets during revaluation, the asset value increases during the acquisition by another company. So that increase of asset is called as capital profit. And then do we have the holding company and subsidiary company relationship? Last question. The answer is no, completely no, because they are buying only 6,000 shares. But this time is 60,000 out of 2 lakhs. So once the company acquires the shares of the subsidiary the other company, more than 50% only you will get the holding company and subsidiary company relationship. Otherwise, it's not possible. And one more question I ask: which of the following is exteriors assets in the subsidiary company balance sheet? So there used to be 4 options. So you can choose preliminary expenditures as the best one. Are you able to follow? Yes? Good. Excellent. So now, let me summarize the entire plans towards human rights. So we started with the concept of minority interest. So what is minority interest? The client portion of outside shareholders in the subsidiary company is called as minority interest. So why do we need to calculate that? Because to assess the potential portion of the outsiders in the subsidiary company, which have to be posted in the consolidated balance sheet of holding company. The holding company liability side, there should be minority interest, because once he buys the entire share, there won't be minority interest. But he buys a proportion more than 50%, but not to the extent of 100%. Some portion left out, which is held by the outsiders. So their rights have to be shown in the consolidated balance sheet of holding company. That's why we need to pay attention in calculating minority interest. And 4 important things need to be focused. One is share in the outsider share in share capital in subsidiary company. Point number 1. Second, the outsider share in reserves, both prior and post acquisition of subsidiary company. Third, the outsider shares in accumulated losses. Last, the proportionate share of profit or loss during the revaluation of assets. These 4 are 4 pillars for calculating minority interest. Then, if there is a preference share capital exists in the company, in the subsidiary company, which is held by the outsiders, and if there is any dividend due in such share capital, then that has to be considered. Hence, minority interest means is an outsider interest. This has a major part in the preparing consolidated balance sheet of holding company. So we have seen a sum and how to solve the sum, how to calculate the minority interest portion, and how we used all the 4 pillars in calculating the minority interest. Also, I've been gone through, and we got finally the answer as rupees 68,000 of this particular exercise. So with this, let me stop this particular lecture, and but learning never stops. I request you to use the same sum and do a practice of calculating goodwill or capital reserve, because they gave how much they are buying. They are buying for 2,75,000. So you can able to calculate Goodwill or capital reserve in the holding company. So please do that exercise and post your answer in the comment after the end of this lecture. Thank you. Have a good day. I hope the lecture is very useful to understand the basic model of calculating minority interest, goodwill, etc. by taking question. Thank you. Have a good day. Prepare many conceptual understanding towards focusing on multiple choice questions too. Because now the SWAM, NPTEL or any other platform online courses wherever we use now this particular lecture, definitely the multiple choice question will be highly gives you hands-on learnings. It helps you to directly choose the right answer. So key point. So thank you. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.